Hello, welcome to my channel, welding tips and demonstrations. Right, one or two have asked me if I could just do a very simple video to get people onto TIG welding, especially aluminium. So I've set up some plate, some 2mm normal aluminium, 6013 or something like that. I'm not sure, it's run of the mill stuff, nothing special, just to give people an idea of what they've got to do basically. So as the next question is, what welding set do we use, etc, etc. So there are some cheap sets about on the market. Don't get put off by Chinese sets. There are some good Chinese sets out there, but I would recommend anybody as a basic budget welding set. I'm not getting paid for this, Robert from Rtech Welding. It's an Rtech Welding TIG welding set. Now I think they do, this is the 200 set. Now they do a smaller set. Don't be put off with that. They got guts in them, don't worry about that. Now the reason why I've had a 200 amp for is because sometimes I weld 6 and 8mm. So you can get away with an 180 amp TIG welding set. Don't let that put you off at all. If you've got to do any thicker stuff, you can always preheat it with a blowtorch to get penetration. But what we're going to do today, we're going to get you running on a little bit of thin plate and what you will need. So first of all, you'll need pure argon. So you got to get a supplier for pure argon. Small bottles, large bottles. Ideally the small bottles are fine for home use. So then what you need to do is get a single stage regulator, Mickey Mouse some people call it, and then on the regulator you'll need a flow meter. Now the flow meter is to set your gas rate on there. You don't want it coming out full blast because you ain't going to get a good weld on it. You don't want it coming out too slowly. So you want to set this between 15 and 20 litres, I think it's per minute on there, don't quote me on that. Right, you just want to listen to it coming out the torch like psh, nothing like psh, that's too much, right? So you want it set at about 15 ideally. Mine's probably at about 20, I don't know, but that's the first things you need. The next thing you need obviously is filler wire. Now I use it's called SIF aluminium number 14. It's quite a universal wire and it's good for most sort of casings as well. Now this is only 1.6, so what you want to do is get some 1.6 or 2.4. That's probably all you'll need, just doing general little stuff, repairs, radiators, header tanks, sort of side covers, anything, something like that. So, but basically you ain't going to weld anything that thick, right? So if you keep to them general rules. Now the other thing is like, oh, what sort of tungsten do I need? Do I need zirconated or thoriated? Or, well, guess what? You can get one that does both, right? Gold tip. I use them all the time because at one stage you're just changing tungstens from one to the other. Now, put a gold one in, which is universal. It'll do you for everything you need as long as you sharpen the tip. Now, with aluminium, you get a ball on the end of the tip. Although you sharpen it to a point, you will get a ball on it. Once you get a nice ball on it, should look like a chrome ball. You know, you've got the tip really nice and uncontaminated. Now, aluminium, you've got to keep it clean like everything else, but sometimes it's not totally necessary. It depends what you want to do, like. But touching about in the workshop, clean it with a wire brush, get it nice and clean. Don't want no contaminants in there. Clean it with a bit of acetone, but make sure you chuck that rag somewhere where it ain't going to catch fire, right? So tip wise, now size of tip, you can go 1.6 or 2.4. I use 2.4 for everything. I don't do this every day as a job. This to me was just, little jobs, what I do, and I get away with doing most of the stuff. So 2.4 is brilliant. Sharpen it up, get it in there, and also there's a gas gauze in there. Now that is a little tiny gauze. I might have one here to show you. Well, that's a clear shroud. That's a Pyrex shroud. That's good when you can't see into play. That's going to give me a shock. That is, you ain't going to see. You can see it actually when it's clear, when you get into place. But there's a gauze in there. I would advise anybody to use that gauze, because what it does, it stops the gas coming out like that, and it cools the gas. There's a reason for it. Very technical. I'm just trying to get you going here. Remember, I'm not, a masterclass of a TIG welder in there. I'll keep pressing this button. So it's right. You've got your tip in. Then there's your ceramic. That usually comes with a set. So as whenever you buy a TIG welder, you'll have everything in there to get you going. And then you can do all your add-ons later if you want short stubs to get into tiny little places, even a smaller torch. It's unlimited. Now also a good investment as well is the foot pedal, or as you may call it, the accelerator. You can set your settings on your TIG welder, and you can use it flat out. You can set your perimeter, say for 150 amps flat out, or you can ease off the gas, and it can be like 30 amps, so as you can go 30 to 150. So that is a good thing. I mean, I have got one. I never use it, to be honest with you, because I do simple stuff, nothing technical. Well, I don't think so anyway. But right, so you've got your what's the name, you've got your filler rod, you've got everything what you need. Then people will look at the settings of a TIG welder and go, oh my god, exactly. Now I'm old school. I like knobs, right? No, switches, should I say? Right. Now I'm old school because I like to go up to a set and I like to adjust post gas, pre-flow gas, all the different settings on them. Right, I can give you basic settings just to get you going. But you can buy a digital one. It's up to you. But you got to read the manual for that, because I've had to get rid of my digital one and I've gone for old school. Right, so just basic settings. So if we're welding 2mm, right, set your settings at your base current round about 60. Start on 63 amps, and always match your pulse current the same. Right, that will give you a guide to get going. Now also obviously set it to AC, because it ain't going to weld aluminium on DC. You'll make a right mess of it. Now the next thing to do is your upslope and your downslope. But upslope, keep it off. Your downslope, you can give it a little bit. All it'll mean is when you switch off, it'll just come out, or it can be just straight off with a button. Now I like it off, downslope and upslope off, so I'm not using that at all. Now the other setting is your pulse frequency. Just set it slightly off base. On the third notch should get you going. Pulse width again, fourth notch. AC frequency and AC balance 50%, so it's halfway on that. These will just give you basic settings to get you going. You won't need any arc force, but set a bit of post flow. Now post flow is you'll get a bit of gas, so you can just turn the post flow off and you can see the difference. It's off instantly, and then you can just, it's ideal for cooling. So as the more you put on, you can just, once you've stopped welding, you've come off the button, that gas is continually going, and that will aid cooling. Now that's a good thing to use. But that's your basic settings on your AC DC 200 amp Rtech set. That should get you going. Now you notice I'm not wearing gloves again. Most people don't in these American chopper things and whatever, but your hands will stink after of burnt flesh. Can't be doing you any good, but I'm past caring now at my stage of life with it. So I'll just give you a demonstration now on this. This is going to be 63 amps on those settings, what I've told you. Let's see if we can put a decent weld down on this 2mm. Now that's very low amperage, that is running at 63 amps. Now if I can just pick this up because it gets very hot, you can see that's put an half decent weld on there. That is a bit cold. TIG welding, get yourself comfortable, get a chair, sit on it, get yourself really comfortable because it is time consuming. So that's just the basic setting what I've given you at 63 amps with a filler rod. Now what I'm going to do now is I'm going to show you what they call autogenously welding. That is to weld without a filler rod. Now this is getting hot now. Plate's getting hot. Autogenously welding, which is without a filler rod. Now on corners, if you get the corners just right, there's no gap at all, you can weld that up without a filler rod. All you're doing is just melting both materials together and forming a weld. Now I'm going to show you that now on this piece of plate. We're going to chuck the wire out the way. I'm going to grab the torch. I'm just going to give it a little bit more amperage. So as we're going to go up to 80 and keep the base current in the same configuration on the scale on the knob, button, whatever you want to call it, not a switch. So what I'm going to do now is do this now without a filler rod and let's see what happens. Not very good at the moment. I think I've touched it a few times. Oh dearie me. It's not very good when you've had a few beers as well, I must say that. But in all fairness, we've got a bit of contaminant on the tip. So as I'm going to pull the tip tungsten out, and I'm going to give it a bit of a grind. I need a glove because it's a bit warm. So we'll clean this up and let's have another go. Now you can have special tungsten grinders, or you can just do it the way I usually do it on the side of a fine grinding wheel. So as we've put this to a point, if you can see, but that'll bore over once we get moving. So as we're going to try and knock the current up a little bit, 81. And just see if we can do it. We'll start from the middle and we'll carry on without a rod. Perfect. Now it may have been the first instance when I did it that it was contaminated, but as you can see, this has been autogenously welded. If you can see that, that's beautiful weld across there. Now that's no filler rod at all, corner to corner. I've done a lot of this in my past in companies where they want aluminium trays done in 2mm, and you can just, obviously you'll have to tack it in what's the name, so it doesn't open out. If you can keep that, or you can tack it every 150mm, just a little tack all the way along a long piece, you can get a beautiful weld like that, and that is strong, to be honest with you. It's good. You can see at the back it's penetrated through autogenously welding without a filler rod. Now that's good, but we all know that you ain't going to be doing that, because for instance your mate brings you, oh, can you put a bit of weld on this bit of casting, bit of aluminium casting, bit of mix of anything, Chinese excuse me, it could be Chinese, it could be British. Get it ground out, clean it out. I'll do a demonstration on something later. I'm just waiting for something to come in, and I'll do a demonstration on a repair, probably a motorcycle. Who knows, somebody might have some motorcycle parts they want to send down to me. I can do a video on it, no problem there at all. But this is just a basic setting to get people going, to get them running. Now, if you need any questions, just ask me. You know, you can send me a photograph of your machine and say, what do you think on this, Steve? I'll give you the basic settings to get you going on that. All I want to do is help people out. I know everybody, you know, they've got their own projects on at home, and they think to themselves, well, yeah, anybody can weld, it's easy, but it's the job. What's the hardest part? Anybody can pick up a welder and go, yeah, I can do a bit of welding. I get people come to me, I've got years and years of experience, and they think, you know, they're just wet behind the ears and think they can pick up, because they pick up a MIG torch and put a run down of about 4 inches, they think they're the best welder in the world. No. Best welder in the world is somebody who's done absolutely everything and done, you know, every job they've done, and they've done it good. I'm not saying I'm good, but I've been there, trust me. Anyway, less of me pulling my praises up. Now, I hope this gives you some idea of where we're going, and people. What else would you like to know? Welding sets, yeah, Rtech welding, very good mid-range set. Jasic, that's a decent set, Jasic. There's a few Chinese brands on there. If you want to buy something what will last you not long, you can throw a few £100 away and buy something like that, get you out of trouble, no problem. But my recommendation is the Rtech. I am looking at getting a MIG later on, probably a 181. I've seen something nice what they've got, but I want a spool long gun on it. That might be coming in next. We can test that out. But if anybody wants anything particular, let me know, and I'll see what I can do. But I can't think of anything else to get anybody going in this unless you ask me questions, and I can put it, excuse me, on the site and have a go at it. I don't mind doing that. If I can keep the video short enough, it'll be classed as a short. This one I'm rambling on a little bit, but yeah, there's the basic thing. Gold, tungsten, it'll do you. Mild steel, stainless steel, aluminium. Obviously, when you're doing stainless steel and mild steel, you'll be doing it on DC, right? So as all your aluminium is on your AC. So as if you need to weld aluminium, make sure you get an AC set. 180 amp, 180 ampish, 160. To be honest with you, I had a French set many years ago. See, I nearly said that with my teeth. Well, these are my own teeth, by the way. I've had a French Chia, little yellow set, and that was a 160 TIG, that was. And I used to do access platform baskets with that, and it used to be to a stage where you used to run the set, it'd cut out because it was so hot. You go and have a cup of tea, you come back to it, and you carry on again. And that set had so much abuse in the time I had it, and then I sold it on, and the guy had it for ages. He used it. So you can pick good ones, and you can pick bad ones. It's just like everything else. Cars, bikes, you name it, you know, it's just the way the world goes, unfortunately. But yeah, all I can say is, yeah, I've been going on a bit now, rabbiting on. Please subscribe. If you got any mates or anything, well, they're in the same boat, get them to subscribe on the channel, and then I can run you through 1 or 2 other things. I hope you've enjoyed this little bit of a quick video of gonna get out and get on YouTube, because I haven't got the time to go around somebody and teach them at the moment. But I'm hoping this will get you going. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe. Bye.